Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing fit-to-fly documentation as well as COVID-19 testing. And these are two different things, and I want to get into this because I want to delineate that these are two different things. And there was a really good submission to the Bangkok Post print edition, Bangkok Post post bag. This was in the print edition January 2nd, 2021, and it's titled Impossible Dream, written by Stefan Carlson. And again, it's in Bangkok Post print edition. I'm sure it can be found online. There's a lot in here. I'm going to quote one specific excerpt in order to parse out and be able to discuss issues associated with COVID-19 testing versus issues associated with fit-to-fly documentation, because this does a really good job of sort of chopping that up and lining that out. So quoting directly, Tuesday, December 29th, 9 p.m., I arrive at the airport 3 hours ahead of gate time. Of course it's empty, as there are only 30 plus people booked on the flight, which has some 350 seats. The gate agent looks over all my papers and after 10 minutes asks me for another form, something called fit to fly. What is that? Fit to fly. And let me quote, fit to fly. Quote, what is that? Quote, fit to fly. Yes, what is that? End quote. Quote, special form from a doctor indicating that you are fit to fly. And as an aside in here, quoting, I'm now thinking, I'm actually a commercial pilot, but I am not working this trip. I'm not going to physically fly this plane, which is kind of a funny, I shouldn't laugh, but that does add a little humor to all of this. Quote, wait, that's what these are. Quote, no, that's COVID test papers. Quote, yes, fit to fly. No. That says, okay, you do not have COVID, which is good, but you also need a paper that says you are healthy enough to fly. I can see you are healthy, but we need this paper that says so, end quote. Quote, so I guess I'm not going then, right? Quote, no, cannot. So sorry nobody tell you before, end quote. So clearly this one document had a tremendous amount of impact on this person's overall ability to travel to Thailand, or in this case, not travel to Thailand. And yeah, they're two different things. COVID testing is one thing, fit-to-fly documentation is another. This is one of those circumstances where, unfortunately, I think the bureaucracy has gotten way ahead of itself, sort of chasing its own tail with respect to this. Again, it seems to be the policy initiative here pertains to COVID, but then you've got this general fit-to-fly document, which is just another document, but it's just a requirement. It's just what we have to deal with to get people in. And definitely, folks have contacted us when they've been sort of midway in this process or sort of attempting to get midway through this process. And candidly, by the time they get to us, they're so overwrought about the whole thing because there's just a lot of complexity right now in getting someone into Thailand. You've got to deal with all this documentation that you think is one thing. Like in this situation where you have health documentation pertaining to COVID, that isn't everything. There's other documentation. And as we've discussed, things like visas versus certificates of entry, they seem like the same thing, and in many ways they have the same aim, but they're not the same document. And for this reason, the whole process is far more complex than it once was. And I'm definitely not saying it should be, but under the circumstances, it's what we have to deal with, and it just simply is what it is. My heart goes out truly to those folks who have had these circumstances where they've gone through all of this, only to have, be disappointed at the end of the process and not be able to get on the plane. We have had a lot of success, especially in Q4 of 2020, in assisting our clients in getting in. We've had a lot of our clients tell us, yeah, this thing, I really would not have wanted to deal with this if I hadn't had somebody, trying to do this on my own. And then we've also had situations where client flights get canceled. We have to reschedule documentation. We have to reschedule flights, and then we have to re-deal with documentation associated with that. We've had a lot of people, a lot of problems. It's nettlesome. It's vexing. It's definitely far more Byzantine than it's ever been in the past. And for this reason, again, folks doing it themselves, I really feel for you. And hopefully this will abate at some point, but at least for now, and I think into Q2 of 2021, we're probably still going to be dealing with this, and you're just going to have to act accordingly and try to get through it as best you can.